they deleted the video. Kanye West on Drink Champs is no longer on YouTube. What up, world? Charles Brown back again talking facts. So here we are. La 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 la. Busting loose. We don't understand, right? What's really going on behind the scenes, but I'm going to do my best to peep into it and figure it out. I'm going to read from this article in Double XL, and we're going to talk about this Kanye West interview that so many people are up in arms about, including myself. Kanye West's latest controversial Drink Champs interview has been taken down from YouTube. On Monday, 2 days after the infamous sit-down aired, the official interview was removed from both Revolt and Drink Champs' YouTube channels. People on Twitter have mixed reviews about the decision to take the interview down. Kanye West's interview with Drink Champs was removed after he made comments about Jewish media conglomerates influencing narratives, which is accurate. One person wrote on Twitter, wait, what? Oh, that was a quote. I'm sorry. Let me read this as a quote. Kanye West's interview with Drink Champs was removed after he made comments about Jewish media conglomerates, including narratives, which is accurate. One person wrote on Twitter. Kanye should have talked about killing ops from 63rd and 74th Street. That's acceptable. That would have definitely been promoted. The move comes after the interview, which finds Ye making false claims about George Floyd's death and continuing to make anti-Semitic comments, causing tons of backlash. Ye also dissed Diddy, who owns Revolt, the company that airs Drink Champs. Nori has since apologized on New York radio stations Hot 97 and Power 105 for his role in the Kanye interview, making the air and not holding Ye accountable for his outlandish comments. I'm going to do a whole separate video on Nori, right? I'm not getting into Nori too much in this video. We're just going to talk about Kanye's interview, right? We're going to talk about Kanye's interview on Drink Champs with Nori and DJ EFN. I'm going to keep it to that, and then I'm going to do a separate video on the apology by Nori and what's going on behind the scenes. So what I want to say is this. I already did a video where I feel like Kanye is spiraling down, not mentally, because he already spiraled as low as you can go mentally. What I'm talking about is career-wise. When they start putting labels on you as anti-Semitic and they start calling you a person that is spewing hate speech, misinformation, and outright lies, that tends to turn away from you being so cute and acceptable to the people that's trying to make a lot of money off of you. And for years and years and years, Kanye could spit the most outrageous things, right? And he would be a little bit untouchable, but we could still make money with him. So off we go to the Gap, right? Let's go Adidas. Let's get them new pair of Adidas out. Get them new Yeezys out. They're coming out, whatever, the 750s, whatever, right? It's been like that for years where he'll say something outrageous, right? It'll be against his own people. It'll be to the detriment of his own people. But that's not enough to stop him from getting, the next deal or the next million or 4 million or 20 million or 30 million or whatever you got going on. But what happened this time is what I'm not sure if Kanye understood. But you can't say somebody runs something and then disrespect the person running it and expect it to still float as if it's all good. This is what happens when a guy has been spoiled. This is the athlete who never had to do his homework. He never had to turn in any papers. He didn't barely go to class because he was so good at football. Everybody did his work for him. And the teachers passed him because they wanted to win. Finally, at one point in the senior year, they did something really low down and they made everybody in that school uncomfortable. And people stopped wanting to give them passes. This is where we are with Kanye. People don't want to give him passes anymore. When you start saying, you're spewing things that are really only said in the darkest sectors of the internet by alt-right, right-wingers, and some GOP pundits and people who really have nothing good to say about certain races of people, i.e., Jews and black people and gay people, people that move hell on earth and move mountains to disparage and keep these people out of positions of any type of real power or any type of real rights for their own well-being, right? It's mostly a subculture that is frowned upon for the most part, but it does exist. And somehow they have gotten their claws into Kanye, who desperately wants something to believe in. I watched the entire 3 hour something interview. I'm glad I didn't wait because they removed it. I watched it last night. They removed it today. So I wouldn't even know what he said. But I listened to it, watched it last night, and I found myself going through several different phases with the interview. And some people are fooled when he goes down these rabbit holes of pseudo deepness, when he starts talking about the Israelites and the different the 12 tribes of Judah, which he stated incorrectly. But some people get caught up in that, and some people want to hear this thing about Jews. They cannot wait. They love to hear it. They love to hear Jews own everything. Jews this, Jews that. They want to hear it because it fits a narrative of why they can't be where they want to be in their own lives, right? I was watching Rosenberg on Hot 97 this morning, who is Jewish. And what he did say is Jews do own Hollywood because we went out of our way to take over that market and make it and build it into what it is, right? It's not you're not breaking new ground by saying a lot of Jewish people own a lot of real estate, a lot of cachet in Hollywood, in the Hollywood business, in the awards and everything that goes on, everything to do with Hollywood. Yes, you are not breaking new grounds by saying that. At this point, you're saying it as in most people's opinion, it isn't an attack to say it. You're not elevating anything by saying that, right? At this point, someone saying the Jews own Hollywood, right? Who doesn't know that many jobs are held by Jewish people? That's not that is almost common knowledge. But what is not common knowledge is the people who are saying that are trying to disparage them and make them into boogeymen and bad guys, right? When someone says that, it is usually a excuse for them to bring a different light onto a culture of people, a race of people, and to try to bring them into a situation where they are not looked upon favorably. This is how the Holocaust started, where they were saying, they're called stereotypes, and they're saying they have all the money, they have all the gold, they have all the artwork. When you start saying that to a bunch of people that are poor and disenfranchised, who don't have what they feel like they are supposed to have, what are they going to do? Once you start saying they, them, those become the bad guys, right? So in this scenario, this is a billionaire black man trying to say they have all the money. They're the ones in control. The Jewish media are holding me back, right? Victimizing himself so all of his minions could go and be like, yeah, those Jews, those pesky Jews are at it again. This is why they call it anti-Semitism, and that's why they call it stereotypes. Because once you start those narratives, it changes people's opinions about people, and they start to look at them in a negative way. Just like when you start the narrative that all black people steal, right? That all black people are lazy, that all black people are dumb. When you start those narratives, which are false narratives, we are some of the most intelligent people on the earth. But after a while, if you say it long enough, it becomes true. It's just a fact. If you steer a narrative long enough, it becomes a true narrative. And you get people treating you accordingly. They start wanting to teach you less because they feel like you can't grasp it anyway. They start not wanting to put you in certain jobs because they don't think you're smart enough to handle it. They used to wouldn't let black people be quarterbacks in the NFL because we weren't smart enough. Our brains weren't big enough. That was the rumor. That was the narrative. That was the stereotype. We weren't able to handle the job. Yeah, we can run up and down, snatch a ball out of the air like nobody's business. But we just can't lead a team. We'll never be able to lead a team to victory. It's just too complex for our little brains, right? So what Ye did in this interview was, as I've said before, Ye it has been compromised by a sector of people such as Candace Owens and others who spew a lot of white supremacist rhetoric, but they know what to not say in public. Ye does not. And what Ye does is do what I like, it's not that I made it up, word salad. He throws a lot of word salad out. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's a dog whistle for everybody. Right? So he's throwing in Jews are black too. There it is. Now he got the black people, ears perked up, right? Ye is deep. You hear him? They don't want him to speak. He just said Jews are black, right? And then in the very next sentence, the Jewish media is trying to keep me down. They sent Puffy to control me. Well, which is it, bro? Is it that I can't be an anti-Semite because I'm a Jew myself? Or is it that it's those white Jews over there because my wife is white and she is controlled just like them? That's what make it make sense to me. So what happened with the interview, what Ye did was the literal definition of anti-Semitism and stereotyping. When you say things of disparaging connotations about a race of people. That is literally why they were put into concentration camps and put into, for lack of a better word, they were murdered for the things that Ye is saying out his own mouth right now that he heard someone else say and he didn't know. I'm not supposed to say it out loud. I'm just supposed to say this in secret with other people who agree with me. Right? He doesn't know that. So he's going to say it out loud. But the problem is the medias that you're using are owned by the very people you're trying to say are out to get you in whatever mental schizophrenic breakdown you're having. So you got kicked off of the shop, right? They didn't put the interview up. Tucker Carlson. Let me repeat this. Tucker Carlson, who doesn't care any way or another about what he says on these airwaves about anybody, had to chop that interview down because most of it they could not air on Fox or anywhere. It got leaked. I think they had an hour, if I'm not mistaken, I think they had an hour interview, chopped it down to about 15 to 18 minutes because it was not airable. The things that he's saying about Jewish people and George Floyd and all this other stuff. Now, they don't really care about the George Floyd stuff, but they do care about the comments, the anti-Semitic comments that Kanye has been on this rant lately. And the thing about Kanye, what he already told you, when you tell him he can't say something, he's going to say it more. You tell him he can't wear the MAGA hat, he's going to wear it 3 times, right? You tell him he can't say slavery is a choice, he's going to come back again and say it even louder with a different, add more spice onto it. So whatever he says, and he's been getting away with it for years, right? Whatever he said to offend you, if you say, bro, that offended me, he may give you a song and dance apology for about 13 seconds. Maybe. That's if he's feeling that day. But for the most part, it's going to be what he did to Diddy and what he did to Meek Mill. Lashed out, start calling them thugs and gangsters and telling them to come greenlight him. Right? Now they're the bullies and they're the the man that's out to literally kill him. In his mind, they're trying to kill me. I told them to come kill me. I'm gonna die for my beliefs and all this stuff. It's just over the top rhetoric, right? So now, mind you, Diddy had everything Kanye shirts ready to wear at the fashion show. He had him on the scene to give out. Everybody was gonna be wearing. If you don't support Kanye, then what? It was all support for Kanye. Kanye burst out the White Lives Matter shirt. Diddy pull back his shirts. I gotta hold up for this. I gotta hold up for a minute. This is the main man that's on your side. And all he said was, bro, I'm not rocking with the shirt. And now it's F you, F Meek Mill. No one, you can't have any pushback with this guy, right? So that leads me to the interview. No one can say anything. So people are mad at Nori and thinking that Nori should have. There's no one that can say anything to this guy. There's not a person on earth that could have stopped that guy from saying what he wanted to say. And what I'm alluding to is that interview had no choice but to be deleted. For one, it goes against YouTube policies, right? Because it's hate speech. It is the definition of hate speech, not to mention outright lying about how George Floyd died. So you're going to say George Floyd died, but his knee wasn't even really on his neck like that. I saw the documentary, the BS documentary that Candace Owens, right, who, like I say, uses white supremacy as a blank check. Just tell them what they want to hear. They write another check. She's milking them for all that she can get out of them. Honestly, it's almost brilliant, right? It's almost brilliant. She says whatever they want to hear, they write her another check. It's almost brilliant. If I didn't have nothing but disdain for her, I would say that it was a brilliant move. It is unreal that this little black woman has all these white people giving her so much money. She made a documentary, exactly what they wanted to hear, and Kanye sat there and watched it, got hypnotized, and went on an interview and said something ridiculous. What about the coroner's report that said that he died from asphyxiation? He died from the knee on his neck. He died from it. That's what he died from. That's what the coroner, you know what the coroner is? Coroner tells you how someone died. They get the body, they exhume it, and they cut it, whatever they do to figure out what happened was the cause of death, right? And then they make a report and they put it out. That's their job. So there ain't a coroner in the world that would have said that thing was a death by suffocation or asphyxiation or whatever he said, whatever terminology he used. There ain't one in the world that would have said it in that case if there was no other way to prove it. If there was anything else they could have said, they would have said that. There's no coroner that wanted that smoke from these people that wanted to hear that he didn't die from that. I could have sworn the cop that did it went to jail. But somehow, the narrative Kanye wants to still spew is that George Floyd died of fentanyl. They had to pull this. But the question is, who pulled it? Did Nori go in there and click delete? Did Diddy go in there and click delete? The rumor is the quote unquote, the people in control of the whole media went and told him we're going to delete this. Now let me ask you a question. And this is something that our people don't do. Right? If something is detrimental to the future of your people and you are the owner of the network, would you delete it? I need you to make it make sense. Of course you're going to delete it. If I own YouTube and someone is spewing all kind of hate about my own people, I'm going to delete it. Yeah, I'm not giving you a platform to sit there and tell people that I got all the gold and I got all the riches and I'm the Zionist freaking overlord that's trying to take over the world and kill you. You think I'm going to let you put that out there? You think I'm going to leave that up for a year and let it get 1 billion views? And let Diddy and them sit there and eat off this? You insane? But this is the problem with my people. We won't. We'll leave it there. We don't have a solid front on anything. We got people, you can go in the comments right now, somebody is arguing for this goofball. Somebody is arguing for this goofball who absolutely has no respect for his own people or anybody else's. This man only respects the dollar. And for a long time, it was good. He could rant and rave and get money for these rants, and he would make more money for it. But what he didn't understand is once you go too far with the hate speech, it's a boomerang you cannot stop. It's coming back. It's going to hit you hard. No matter who you are. Sooner or later, people are going to be like, I'm not rocking with it. Sooner or later, people are going to be like, I'm not feeling him. And he is a racist. And it doesn't help that the rhetoric is nonsensical at this point. He's talking on both sides of an issue, and it's like, it doesn't make any sense to me that this man still has platforms to go to. I told you I'm gonna do another video completely on Nori and why Nori did what he did, right? I not like Nori. I'm the biggest champion of drink champs. I know why Nori did that. Nori did that because he wanted part 3 of Ye at all costs. He knew he was going to crush every other podcast, and he did. He tweeted out, we did bigger numbers in Sunday night football. And you did, sir. But at what cost? I'm going to leave it at that. What we want to do, right? I want you to get in the comments, let me know what you think about them deleting this. Did it have to be deleted? With all the controversy around it, there's no way it couldn't have been deleted. It had to be. There was no way that they wasn't going to delete it. I was wondering when they was going to delete it. Now, yes, deleting it, they lost a lot of money, but guess what? There's a lot more problems now. Talking about a lawsuit. Good luck. I've seen some other people rip the video and put it up on other channels. The whole video is on another channel. Somebody else's, I don't know the YouTube channel, but I saw it. 3 hours, 35 minutes, I believe, whatever it was, somebody else ripped it and put it on a different YouTube channel. That person's asking for a lot of problems, but it's up there. It's up there. They're going to copyright claim it, and they probably get that man, they're going to give him a strike, and that channel might get banned. Who knows? But end of the day, they have decided that they are not going to play with Kanye anymore. And they shouldn't. This guy is a detriment to all races at this point that are not the white race. Right? I'm going to leave it at that. And the simple fact of the matter is, it's not even that he's helping just white people in general. It's the not good white people. You know what I'm saying? It's the bad white people who want to eradicate me and everybody like me and everybody like him. If they had their way, they would make him the last black person on earth so then they could chop his head off and hold it up and say, we got the last one. But he doesn't know that. So as he's going out of his way to do the bidding for the people who can't really stand him, he's losing his power with the good people. Finally. Let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG.com. I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
CLB.